Hello my lovelies. In case you notice, I have a new backdrop. So I don't know if I'm fully going to be filming here in this setup. This is kind of like a try-on. I don't really know for sure if I'll be here or if I'm staying in the room, or I just switch it up a little bit. We'll see. This is a new vanity that my boyfriend and his parents got me, and I love it. It's super exciting. I know a lot of people have seen it on Snapchat and social media and have asked me questions about if I'm going to do a tour or not, and I would love to. So she's like messing with my tripod. But I would love to do a storage tour and vanity tour at some point, but I just got it, so I'm kind of still deciding where I want all my makeup to sit and how I want it to clear out. So just a quick thank you to them for getting this for me. I'm eventually going to do a video explaining my whole situation. But summary of the story, I live in Ty's parents' house. So I live under their roof and I don't really have anything for myself here. Everything's owned by them or Ty's brother Jordan. And they thought it'd be really nice to get me a little space with my vanity and everything like that, just to make me feel a little bit more at home, and I'm very grateful for them and the fact that they did that for me. So sorry, I'm just rambling on here. Haven't even gotten to the topic yet, huh? So today I decided to do a little bit of a demo and review of the new Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I got this palette for Valentine's Day from Ty. He was really nice to get it for me, and I've been wanting it for a while. I think the colors are absolutely gorgeous, and I love the smell peach. I've always loved the smell peach. I don't know what it is. It's like a weakness of mine. I can't help it. I have mostly pros, but I have some cons about this palette. So basically what this video is going to be is I'm going to give you my full review of this palette and explain to you why I love or hate it. And then at the end of the video, I will do a demo showing you why I love or hate this palette. And I will tell you as I'm going through, this is why I explained this is why I didn't, so on and so forth. So if you want to just watch the demo, I completely understand. I will have a little thing on the bottom down here explaining exactly the time of when the video is going to go straight to the demo. But for now, I'm just going to jump right into the review. Alrighty, so this is the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced. I've had since Valentine's Day to play with this palette, and all in all, basically I love it. I think it is an amazing palette. I think that the colors are gorgeous and that you can make so many different looks with it. I like the smell. A lot of people have complained about the smell. Personally, I love it. I love any smell of peaches, and I think it just smells amazing. A lot of people say that it smells kind of like medicine. I do have to say that I like the chocolate bar palette smell better. I feel like it fits more with the chocolate theme rather than this feels more with the peach. I feel like this smells like Rent's candy. I love the smell of Rent's candy. If you don't, then you're not going to like the smell of this palette. I suggest that you go to a store and you smell this palette before purchasing it, because it can be kind of strong. I can even smell it as I'm putting it on my face. As for color selection, I think there are some cons about the color selection. That's probably one of the only cons I have, which is kind of mixed with a pro, which is pretty funny. The color selection is gorgeous. You get some pretty cool colors like this green, the purple, the Just Peachy shade is amazing. Bellini is gorgeous. All these purples over here are gorgeous. I haven't touched them as much. Tempting is pretty. I mean, they're all really pretty colors. The con side to the colors. There is not necessarily a normal transition shade in this palette, and I feel like that is a must-have. That is a con that I have to mention as far as this palette. You kind of have Georgia and Puree down here. I don't know if they're picking it up on camera, but these two shades can be considered a transition shade, but for me personally, and I'm pretty light, I mean I'm pretty fair all means. I'm not necessarily a very tan person, and this is too light for me. So unless you're extremely fair, Georgia isn't that great of a transition shade. I wish it had a little bit more brown or mauve in it, because the shade is just very pink. And so whenever you want to do anything, I get that it's the peach palette and they want you to do something peachy, right? Well, sometimes when I grab this palette, I want to do something not as pink. You know, I'm not a very big pink person. But they really don't let you do that with these transition shades. Kind of the transition shades they throw at you, they're like, well, you're going to have to do something peachy because this transition shade is pretty pink. Puree is another good transition shade. It's the complete opposite though. It's very dark. What sucks about this transition shade is it's really pigmented. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's extremely pigmented and it's very dark. And throwing on a pigment shade that's that dark in the crease when you're as light as I am can be really detrimental to your look. It's really hard to put a transition shade in and then be like, whoa, that's dark. And then you have to immediately go into a smoky eye or something because you don't have a choice unless you take the whole thing off. So that's why I'm so serious about these transition shades. Is the color palette is gorgeous. I love the different colors you can play with. I love it all, but hand in hand, when it comes to a palette, you need to have a good transition shade, and I just feel like this palette lacks in that. Now for another pro of the palette as far as the colors, the lid shades are amazing. You get so many different kinds of lid shades on here, and I just love the versatility of it. You've got greens, you've got golds, you've got peaches, you've got champagnes, you've got dark browns, you've got dark purples. You really have everything that you need as far as a lid shade in a different kind of vibe that you wanted. I mean, literally, I've tried almost every single lid shade on here. They knocked it out of the park as far as lid shades. You can make any look that you want out of this palette. It doesn't have to be pink. With regards to the transition shade, I honestly suggest you pair a palette like this with one that's packed full of transitions, like the Modern Renaissance or the Naked One or the Lorac Pro, or, you know, I use this Buxom palette that has my own shades in it. I put a lot of transition shades in here. You know, that's the only thing that really sucks as far as this palette, and like, it's just the versatility of it kind of gets lost in the fact that you can't just pull out this palette and the transitions are going to work with every single lid shade they gave you. Mattes versus sparkles and shimmers. I feel like they did a really, really good job. This palette has, let's see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it has 7 mattes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 shimmers. And I feel like that's really, really okay. It doesn't have to be even across the board. Like I said before, it's basically a lid designed palette here, so they're going to have a lot more shimmers, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I can work with 4 or 5 mattes. It's not a problem. So really that is my review on it. I think it's extremely pigmented. I think they're beautiful shades. I love the concept they did there, and obviously everyone else does. There was a big controversy about this palette when it first came out. A lot of people were saying that they didn't receive it, that they ordered it and they didn't get it for like 3 months or something crazy, and then they did the second launch and people got the second launch before the people in the first launch ever received theirs. I think that's crazy. I mean, Too Faced, how long have they been around, really? How long has Too Faced been here? A long time. They know what they're doing at this point, and I feel like that's a little unacceptable to have something like that happen. I wanted to zoom y'all in a little bit so that I can do my demo and you'll see it a little bit clearer. So to start off, I'm basically going to show you what I'm talking about as far as the transition shades. I'm taking a fluffy brush and I'm dumping into Georgia and Caramelized. And I'm just going to hit that crease. If you can hear Maggie crying in the background, I'm sorry. So basically the shades are very pigmented. You can see just 2 dips in that the shadow has amazing pigmentation and payoff. Now I'm going to show y'all the lid colors. So basically I'm going to start off with just Peachy, and I'm going to intensify the shade with some spray. So I'm going to take a flat synthetic brush, dip right into that shade, and then I'm going to spray it. You can use Fix Plus. I use my Mario Badescu spray. Even eye drops, I heard, or even licking the brush works. So I wet it, and this will intensify the shade even more. And I'm just going to place that right on the lid. And again for the other side. So there we go. That's with just Peachy all over the lid. Now I'm going to take a second synthetic brush. I'm going to jump into Bellini and Nectar. I'm going to put those both on the brush, and I'm going to spray this as well. And I'm putting this right in the middle of the eye to kind of make like a halo effect. Just brighten it up a little bit. So there we go. Now I'm just going to buff that out with the same fluffy brush and Caramelized and Georgia again, and buff out those harsh edges. Now this is the main look that I've been doing with this palette as I've been, testing it out and whatnot, and I really like it. I mean, I feel like I don't usually go for pinks, but I feel like these are very wearable pinks. And they'll look super nice with a tan in the summer. And I've been wanting the summer so bad. I'm like so tired of this cold weather. I just want it to be done and over. Alrighty. Now those harsh lines are done. I feel like I want to deepen it up a little bit. I feel like it's all kind of one shade. So I'm going to use Puree. And I'm going to take another fluffy brush. This one's a little bit smaller, and I'm going to dip into Puree and put it into the crease, mainly focusing on the outer edge. It's be really easy with this shade and really build it up because it's very pigmented, and I feel like it can make some serious damage if you're not careful. Now actually I'm going to take the same brush and the same Puree color and drag it on the bottom of my eyes. So I'm taking a really, really tiny fluffy brush and I'm just going to dip into that black, be really careful, tap off that excess and get on the very outer edge. Kind of making like a wing almost from the edge of the eye, pulling it up and into the crease on the very outer edge. So now we're going to take a fluffy brush with nothing on it and blend it out. So now I'm going to take another synthetic brush and I'm going to hit the brow bone with a little bit of white peach and nectar. I really need to do my eyebrows. Alrighty, and last but certainly not least, this is actually my favorite part. I feel like it changes the entire look for some reason. I'm going to take a small brush and I'm going to take nectar and put it in the inner corners. And voila. So real quick, I'm going to put on some nude eyeliner and some mascara and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so this is the look with mascara and eyeliner, and I also put on the Tarte Amazonian Butter Lipstick and Coral Blossom. I thought it really brought up the coral tones in the eyeshadow. So there you have it guys, there is my demo and review. There is my demo and review of the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Y'all let me know if you really like these kinds of videos. If you're more of a first impressions kind of person, I'm more than happy to do one of those instead of more of a review. Or if you like the review aspect and you like that I've already tried out the product and give my opinions over time rather than the very first impression, let me know that as well. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and I hope to see y'all later. Bye!
There's just a lot out there. Oh my god, I don't want to do that. I'm so scared. Why did we do this? Oh, I just flipped everything up.
I went for smoky eyes, but I also— shush, I'm filming! Mixed with the transition. The only thing that sucks about swatching is how much, like, I'm constantly having to wipe off my hand.